If you can do that, if you can tell yourself clearly what you need done, AI can get you probably 80% of the way today in most of these tasks. So you're talking about crunching the can and skill building. I would focus highly on that, like learning the skill of articulating what you need done, right? And people call that prompt engineering and that's not really, it doesn't need to be technical. It's just the basic skill of that. And, there are systems like Who's that we help with that. And the system actually is more of a do as you want, not do as I ask sort of thing. And those are two different things. But actually, I need to bring up this study to you. And I find this fascinating because I was watching this as an observer. I was kind of seeing these groups of people like use AI, and you can see some like really take off and their productivity and efficiency and the quality of their work like was going like this. And I saw others that I felt like they were just stagnant or they're kind of trying too many things or their efficiency and productivity is going down. Now there's studies that's showing this to be true. So you know how when you sit in front of ChatGPT and you start talking back and forth, and it's like a confirmation bias thing. It's like, oh, good idea, John. Yes, we should do this. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. or you're just making a mistake and you're like, hey, what about this? You're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You are right. I'll do it this way. So it's a confirmation bias thing. So what they're finding now in studies is that top quartile or those top professionals or experts, and whatever their field is, and they're working with AI, they are seeing a 35 to a 60% increase in productivity and efficiency. But below that, they're seeing between like a 12, and I'm getting these numbers slightly, don't quote me on the numbers, but these are right ratios. But they're actually seeing a decrease from like 12 to 30% in productivity and efficiency because AI is kind of leading them down the path and they're just kind of following it, right? And so they're not getting more efficient or more productive because they don't have the wisdom or the expertise to know when to call bullshit or know when to direct it and be like, hey, let's do a next iteration to go a little deeper or we'll go this way, right? So we're seeing this gap that's happening. And I want people to pay really close attention to that when you cannot sit down and give a simple prompt and then take what the machine tells you, take it as gospel and run.
Yeah. So how do you kind of fact check yourself with that? Like what are some of the things and where, and is this something that Whozy has as an ability to learn, like you said, how to articulate what it is that you want, from a training perspective? Does Whozy have that in the training library that starts to really break that down and develop that skill set? Because that's where I'm kind of going is like, okay, us as leaders, what are the skills that we have to have and we have to master? We know, selling, we know persuasion, we know, leadership, conflict resolution, marketing, there's certain skills that we have to have and develop. Where do we go to learn to be able to articulate what it is that we want condensed down and be able to be like, nah, that's bullshit. I sniff that a little bit. And how do we develop and learn that skill?
So Danielle does a great job on her, Danielle works here at Whozy, and in a class, she brought up a good point. She goes, if you go to ChatGPT and you say the cow jumps over the, ChatGPT will say moon, right? Because it's grounded in patterns, not fact. But if you go to an AI that maybe it's about cattle ranching or farming and you say the cow jumped over, it might say fence or cattle guard or puddle or something like that, right? Because it's more grounded in what the task is actually doing. And so recognizing what AI is and isn't is the first really skill. It means people need to really understand what it is and what it isn't. It's a pattern recognition machine to grossly underestimate the most amazing technology advance we've ever done, probably since splitting the atom. But that said, right, like one of the first features we built inside of Whozy was something I called Book Boost. And that was the ability for, at the click of a button, say, hey, I want to click the Challenger sale. I want to click Good to Great or whatever. Yeah. And because I wanted wisdom in it, not just the training data and some prompting in it. And so we wanted human wisdom into it. So it's just like handing your assistant this book and say, hey, we want to do this marketing now, but when we do it in the strategy and technique of the book, just click a button. That's the sort of thing that I think you should look for systems that understand how to make it frictionless, so you can quickly get to the better idea rather than you have to think about it and go, you can inject a freaking book, right?
It's pretty damn cool. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
We're getting to it, man. We're getting to it.
Because if, there's certain books that become resource manuals, right? That should be always in proximity, certain ones that you have that are always go to, and being able to then interject that in the concepts of the book into what it is you're trying to accomplish or thinking or do, to me is that's cool. That's really cool.
I can't wait to show you the new, I call it a secret project we're going to show tomorrow a little bit called Satori. And Satori is a Japanese word that essentially means like awakening or enlightenment, or moment of clarity, right? So I'm calling the thing Satori. So we imagine like an AI powered mind map board. Okay. Yeah. So, and like, for instance, let's say I'm a real estate agent and I want to earn the business of a builder. Okay. So I'll drag and drop an AI chat window on this board, picture it like a map board. Okay. And then maybe I grab the website for the builder and just literally drag and drop onto this board. And then let's say I drag and drop the Challenger Sale book because I love the way that book thinks. And then let's say I drag and drop one of your videos that you've done on, prospecting new construction, if you have one of those, right? And I literally drag and drop your YouTube video. I literally just connect the dot to my little AI assistant now. And now I have got your wisdom, all the information about this builder, and I've got it all like right in context. It's able to I instantly trained this AI with the exact content and expertise I need to perform that exact thing that I do. Right. And so we're getting ready to launch that. And so I love people when they feel limitless. Empowered people do good things. People that are in the state of like flight or fight, typically react accordingly. But powerful people that are good-hearted do great things in this world. So AI is getting really, really close to limitless in that way. So the bottleneck you're talking about, the constraint is in the person.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do, I think, is in the interface problem that we have with AI models now, that it's like chat, prompt response, or prompt to video, prompt to text, right? So this new way of like this flexible interface, man, I can put two side by side and I can compare and contrast and debate two different deals. I got offer A on this house, offer B on this house. Let's look at them both side by side, right? And you have your two AIs working back and forth. You've got two business opportunities side by side. You've got like three ways. It's a really flexible, just right brain sort of approach to things instead of this linear back and forth. And we're calling that Satori, and we're getting ready to launch that this week.